Good afternoon. Welcome to Red Emmons Field on the campus of Tusculum University in Greenville, Tennessee. It's the 2021 South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship game between the number 1 seed, the Rail Splitters of Lincoln Memorial University, and the number 6 seed, the Pioneers of Tusculum University. I'm Jim Miller. I'll have the call of today's championship game here from Greenville as Lincoln Memorial, not unexpected to see the Rail Splitters here, the number 1 seed in the tournament. They've picked up a pair of easy victories. They beat UVAY 6-2 and Carson Newman 7-2. Tusculum, did not expect to see them here as they were the number 6 seed, but they beat Catawba 16-7 in the quarterfinals on Friday, and then they beat Anderson 2-1 in the semifinals a little while ago to advance to this championship game against Lincoln Memorial. Both teams making their first ever appearance in the South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship game, so we'll have a new champion here this year. Tusculum coming in with a record of 21 wins, 17 losses. The Pioneers have won 3 in a row. They are 10-8 on this field this season. Lincoln Memorial at 36-5 overall. They have won 2 in a row since dropping their regular season finale. They've won 11 of their last 12. Rail Splitters are 16-4 away from home this season. That includes a doubleheader sweep here in Greenville on March the 10th by scores of 14-7 and 4-3. No surprises in the starting pitching matchups for this game, as Tusculum will go for the third time in this tournament to Emily Sappington, the sophomore, who struck out 10 in the win over Anderson in the semifinals, while Emma Frost will go for Lincoln Memorial, she of the 18-2 record this season. The starting lineups for this game. For Tusculum, they will go with the same lineup that they've gone with the first 2 games. Anna Alloway leading off in right field. Maya Maddox in center field batting second. Alexis Gramp, the shortstop, hits third. Chloe Freischmidt catches and bats fourth. Emily Sappington will pitch and hit fifth. Kylie Longmire at third base bats sixth. Haley Lazo at first base hits seventh. Claire Smeltzer in left field hits eighth. And Brittany France at second base will bat ninth for the Pioneers, coached by Julie Hubner. For Lincoln Memorial, with that record of 36-5, Tequila Goings will lead off at second base. Madison Henry in left field bats second. Sierra Huckleby, the shortstop, bats third. Emma Webb at first base hits fourth. Audrey Petoski, the designated player, bats fifth. Grace Cochran in right field batting sixth. Mackenzie Henry, the catcher, hits seventh. Kelsey Tuggle at third base hits eighth. And Bella Bucciolato, the center fielder, hitting ninth for the Rail Splitters, with Emma Frost getting the start in the circle in this championship game for Lincoln Memorial. How did the teams get here? Lincoln Memorial opened their tournament play on Friday with a 6-2 victory over UVAY as Frost scattered 4 hits and struck out 9 in a complete game performance. Goins and Webb and Bucciolato each with 2 runs batted in. And then in the semifinals this afternoon, they defeated Carson Newman by a score of 7-2. Frost pitched 3 2/3 innings of relief to get the victory, while Petoski was 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. Huckleby 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored for the Rail Splitters in that victory. Tusculum's trip to the championship game started on Friday night with a 16-7 victory over Catawba, as Chloe Freischmidt had 5 runs batted in the game. Tusculum had 16 hits in the ballgame. Emily Sappington struck out 8 for the victory. And then in the semifinal win over Anderson 2-1, Sappington took a shutout into the 7th inning, finished with a 4-hitter, struck out 10, and got the win 2-1 as Anna Alloway knocked in both runs with a single and a sacrifice fly. Claire Smeltzer was 3 for 3 in the game for the Pioneers. So Tusculum looking for the championship. Lincoln Memorial looking for the championship for the first time as well. The winner will get an automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. The regional will be played at the University of North Georgia coming up in May. Your umpires for this game: Melvin Clark will call balls and strikes. Christian Caudle will be the umpire at first base, and Mike Stewart will be the umpire at third base. Lincoln Memorial, the number 1 seed in the field, 36-5 overall, ranked 7th in Division II, and a 20-4 conference record. Tusculum 21-17 overall, 13-11 in the South Atlantic Conference. LMU's 36 wins are 2 shy of the most wins in program history.
And the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters.
LMU has piled up some very impressive numbers throughout this season, and they have earned the awards that they've received this year. They had 6 players named to the All-South Atlantic Conference team. as Tusculum is being introduced right now down the first base line, as the Pioneers will be the visiting team on the scoreboard. Lincoln Memorial will be the home team on the scoreboard. Tusculum is wearing their road black uniforms as they've worn throughout the tournament with the gray numerals and orange trim. Lincoln Memorial will be wearing their home light blue uniforms with blue numerals and white trim. And the Tusculum starters now being introduced. Beautiful day for softball this afternoon. It's been good weather today. No worries with rain in the forecast. There's no rain in the forecast till Friday. It's 61 degrees, cloudy skies. The wind will be blowing generally out to right field, although it has been swirling at times throughout the day. Overcast skies. There's been some breaks of sunshine throughout today's game, or today's games, as the Pioneers have finished being introduced. And we'll see Lincoln Memorial be introduced right now.
The non-starters: Sammy West, Katie Pizzuto, Cassidy Miller, Lincoln Phillips,
As LMU
Kelsey Hoskins
goes to the foul line to be introduced.
Conley, Victoria Mounts, Katie Tuggle, and Haley Tamara. And now the starters for LMU. Leading off and playing second base, Tequila Goins. Batting second, the left fielder, Madison Henry. Batting third, the shortstop, Sierra Huckabee. Batting fourth and playing first base.
Introductions continuing of the Lincoln Memorial players.
The designated player, Audrey Batowski. Batting sixth and playing right field, Grace Cochran. Batting seventh, the catcher, Mackenzie Henry. Batting eighth.
Other South Atlantic Conference Championship activity today. In the Pilot Flying J Baseball Championship, Carson Newman defeated Wingate 5-4 this afternoon, or this morning, in a game that was this morning. So Carson Newman is the lone unbeaten team in the tournament. Wingate is playing an elimination game against Catawba this afternoon. They are currently in the bottom of the sixth inning. Wingate leads that one 5-4. Tonight, Tusculum will play Newberry in an elimination game. And then the championship round will be on Monday. In the men's lacrosse tournament, Lenore Ryan beat Wingate 19-14 to win the championship there. Women's lacrosse, Limestone is playing Queens this afternoon for the championship, and it is 4-3 favor of Limestone midway through the first half. And the outdoor track and field championships for men and women taking place at Hickory this afternoon, hosted by Lenore Ryan. And they are most of the way through the meet. Queens men and women look comfortably on top to win the championships in those respective genders. On the men's side, it's Queens, Wingate, Carson Newman, Catawba, the top four. The women's side, it's Queens, Wingate, Anderson, and Lenore Ryan, your top four. Tusculum's men are 6th. Lincoln Memorial's men are 11th. On the women's side, the Tusculum women are 7th. The Lincoln Memorial women are in 10th place. But it's time for softball action. And in the circle for LMU is Emma Frost, a sophomore from Morristown, Tennessee, Morristown East High School, the SAC Pitcher of the Year. 18-2 record, a 2.61 earned run average, making her 19th start, 27th appearance. She's thrown 134 to third innings, 95 hits, 39 earned runs. She's walked 25, struck out 151, and opponents are hitting 198 against Emma Frost this season. She will go to work against Anna Alloway, the leadoff batter for Tusculum, as we are awaiting the home plate umpire, Melvin Clark, to return to the home plate area. Alloway hitting .386 this season, 5 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Alloway knocked in a pair of runs, both runs for Tusculum in their victory over Anderson. In the tournament, Alloway is 3 for 8 with 3 runs batted in. And we're ready to go here. So we'll be starting right on time. First pitch was scheduled for 4:30. Looks like we'll get underway right there, or maybe just a moment past 4:30. And our first pitch of the championship game is popped up, foul, first base side. Webb can't get there. And it's a strike as the first pitch was at 4:31. The defensive lineman for Lincoln Memorial, Emma Webb, is at first base. Tequila Goings is at second. Sarah Huckleby is the shortstop. And at third base is Kelsey Tuggle. Madison Henry in left field. As the 0-1 pitch is popped up. Webb again giving chase. This time she does have room. And she makes the catch for the out. So Alloway's retired on a foul pop-up to start today's game. The rest of the LMU defensive alignment, Bella Bucciolato is in center field. And right field is Grace Cochran. Behind the plate is Mackenzie Henry. And Maya Maddox will bat for Tusculum. Maddox hitting .282, no home runs, 4 runs batted in. Maddox was 2 for 4 in the semifinals. She is 4 for 9 in the tournament with 4 runs scored. And she will take a strike. Goins very aggressively in at second base, trying to take away the bunt. As Maddox will frequently try and bunt for a hit. The 0-1 pitch. She does bunt. She pops it up, though, and it drops in foul. As unable to make the play is the third baseman Tuggle coming in from third base. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Maya Maddox. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Maddox. Frost with the windup and the 0-2 pitch. High, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Maya Maddox with 1 out here in the first inning. The 1-2 pitch. She does bunt it right back to Frost. She smothers it, but she'll have no play, and it'll be a base hit for Maya Maddox. As Frost came in, got the ball on the bounce, and then realized she wasn't going to have a play, and Maddox has a bunt single. Or another hit for Maddox in this tournament. She's now got 5 hits and 10 at-bats. And she has stolen 17 bases this season, caught once. Alexis Gramp, the batter. Gramp hitting .323, 10 home runs, 36 runs batted in. As for the second time today, Maddox has to get the dirt and everything off of the front of her uniform. She likes to use that belly flop slide into first base and usually has to wind up getting herself cleaned up after the slide. So Gramp steps in, the Pioneer shortstop. And the first pitch to her, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 strike to Alexis Gramp, the grad student out of Harrison, Tennessee, by way of Chipola College. Gramp was 0 for 4 in the first game today. And for the tournament, she is 3 for 9, including a home run. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Maddox is going. The throw to second is in plenty of time. Great throw there by Henry, and the tag applied by the shortstop Huckleby. And Maddox is caught stealing for just the second time this season. 2-6 on the caught stealing, and quickly there's 2 outs. Henry had thrown out 8 of 21 base stealers this season, a pretty respectable clip, and she guns down Maddox for the second out of the inning. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Gramp. The 0-2 pitch. Off the plate for a ball, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. The windup in the 1-2 pitch in the dirt, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. The windup by Frost in the pitch is fouled away, still 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. Frost's pitch. Pop foul. Still 2-2. Two and two the count to Alexis Gramp. Wind up the 2-2 pitch. Socked to left field. Off the fence on the fly. Retrieved by the left fielder Henry, and she's going to hold Gramp to a long single. As that ball was hit on a rope to left field off the fence on the fly. And Gramp has a long single, second hit of the inning for the Pioneers. In about as diametrically opposite manner as you can possibly get. Maddox with a bunt single that went maybe 15 feet, and then Gramp with a laser off the fence and left. But well played out there by Henry in left field to keep Gramp at first base for a single for Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt hitting .310, 7 homers, 33 RBIs. Its first pitch is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Freischmidt was 2 for 3 with a double in game 1. She is 5 for 7 in the tournament with 5 RBIs. As Tusculum will no doubt be well represented on the all-tournament team. That one is hit towards second. Goins will play it on the hop, and her throw to first is in time for the out. So Tusculum gets 2 hits in the first inning, but nothing else as we are through a half inning. It's Tusculum nothing, Lincoln Memorial coming to bat. You're watching the South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship presented on SAC Live.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
For the third time in this tournament, it will be Emily Sappington taking the ball for the Pioneers. Sappington has pitched 14 innings in this tournament and picked up a pair of victories. For the 2 games, she's allowed 10 hits and 6 runs, walked 1, struck out 18, to pick up 2 wins. This season, she is 10-7 with a 3.05 earned run average. It's her 19th start, 22nd appearance overall. Sappington's thrown 118 innings, allowed 104 hits, 40 earned runs. She's walked 19, struck out 122, and opponents hitting .232 against Emily Sappington. Sappington, the sophomore out of Ashburn, Virginia, by way of the University of Connecticut. And she will go to work against the Lincoln Memorial lineup led by Tequila Goings, the grad student second baseman from Ramseur, North Carolina. Goins hitting .379 this season, 7 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Goins, Henry, Huckleby for the Rail Splitters here in the bottom of the first. First pitch is taken for a strike. Sappington threw 106 pitches in the first game, or her first game of the day. Goins, the SAC Player of the Year this season. The 0-1 pitch popped up towards short Backtracking is Gramp, and she stays with it and makes the catch for the out. Goins retiring a pop-up. That'll bring up the left fielder, Madison Henry. Henry hitting .341, 1 home run, 19 runs batted in. Henry, a sophomore out of Louisville, Tennessee. Same hometown as Anna Alloway, but she went to William Blunt High School. Pitch is called strike to Henry. Second team all-conference selection. This one is hit in the air to center field. Maddox drifting in, and she'll make the catch for the second out. So 2 pop-ups and 2 outs in the bottom half of the first inning for Sappington. LMU has their first 5 batters in the lineup, all conference players. And one of them is the all-conference shortstop, first team, Sarah Huckleby, batting .377, 3 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Huckleby, a junior out of Knoxville, Gibbs High School. Many of the players on the LMU roster are from East Tennessee. It's high for a ball, 1-0. Of course, Tusculum has a few of their own as well. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Huckleby. Wind up in the 1-0 pitch. Inside corner for a call and strike. 1-1 the count to Huckleby. Sappington ready to go with the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. LMU has not trailed in this tournament. They led 3-0 against UVA Wise and 4-0 against Carson Newman. Tusculum has not trailed either. The 1-2 pitch, fouled away. Tusculum and Catawba were tied 5-5 in the second inning of their game. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Huckleby. Sappington with the 1-2 pitch. Chopped foul towards the LMU dugout. Still 1-2. This is the second time this season that Sappington has started both games of a doubleheader. They respect that this is a doubleheader. She started twice in one day for the second time this year. The 1-2 pitch, high, 2-2. She did it against Lenore Ryan on March the 29th. She threw a 10-inning no-hitter against Lenore Ryan in Game 1, came back and pitched Game 2, threw 5 2/3 innings in a 3-0 loss. 2-2 the count to Huckleby. Wind up and a 2-2 pitch. Bounce foul again. Huckleby's only struck out 9 times in 138 at-bats. Top 3 hitters in the LMU lineup, all very good contact hitters. And you work down the lineup, you get to find some more free swingers. The 2-2 pitch. Just off the plate for a ball, 3-2. Gramp walking in from shortstop, holding her hand to her head. Could not believe that that one was called a ball, but 3-2 is the count. Three balls, 2 strikes to count to Huckleby. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sappington gets her first strikeout of the game, And it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Sappington. No runs, no hits, nobody left after one. It's Tusculum nothing, Lincoln Memorial nothing. You're watching the Southland Conference Softball Championship presented by SAC Live. Off to the top of the second inning with Tusculum and Lincoln Memorial scoreless. Tusculum had 2 hits in the first inning, but nothing doing against Frost. It'll be Emily Sappington, the Tusculum pitcher, stepping in to lead off the top of the second inning. Sappington hitting .326, a home run, 23 runs batted in. Sappington was 0 for 3 in the win over Anderson. She is 2 for 8 in this tournament. Frost's first pitch is popped foul out of play, 1 strike to Sappington. She'll be followed by Longmire and Lazo here in the second. Frost throwing 15 pitches in that first inning. Frost in her relief appearance earlier today threw 57 pitches. As mentioned, Sappington threw 106 pitches in her start just a couple hours ago. The 0-1 pitch to Sappington is taken for a called strike at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Emily Sappington. Sappington facing Frost in the 0-2 pitch. Line to center field. Backtracking is the center fielder, Buccellato, and it is gone! It's a home run for the pitcher, Emily Sappington. Her second home run of the season, and she gives Tusculum a 1-0 lead here in the second inning. Sappington not known for her power, but she goes deep, and Tusculum leads it 1-0. Her only other home run came in that home run fest against Queens back on April 11th. She hit one of 9 home runs the Pioneers hit in that game. But here she goes deep, and Tusculum leads it 1-0. The ultimate case of helping yourself. Sappington drove it over the fence in center field for a home run. And it'll be Kylie Longmire at the plate. Longmire hitting .234, no home runs, 13 runs batted in. First pitch to her is called strike on the outside corner. Sappington trying to do it all herself today as she has staked herself to a 1-0 lead here in this championship game. The 0-1 pitch is golfed towards left field and caught on the line by the left fielder Henry, 1 down. Tusculum getting some very good swings against Frost here in the early going. Frost came in with that gaudy 18-2 record, but Gramp hit one on the nose. Sappington at that home run, and Longmire also with a loud out. It's Haley Lazo, .271 hitter, 5 home runs, 17 runs batted in. She takes called strike on the inside corner. Lazo, the redshirt freshman out of Port Orange, Florida. Frost 0-1 pitch. Hit towards third. It's a foul ball. Played in foul territory by Tuggle. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Haley Lazo. Wind up by Frost, the 0-2 pitch. Right off for Frost. Karen's to the second baseman go, and she'll flip with the glove in time for the out. As that ball was smoked off of the pitcher Frost right to Goins for the out. And then she looks like she's no worse for the wear. It looks like she got glove on that one. And it's the left fielder Claire Smeltzer. Smeltzer the hitting star for the Pioneers in Game 1. She went 3 for 3 and scored a run, and her lineup spot scored the other run in the game. Smeltzer now 4 for 6 in this tournament. Takes a strike. Again, that ball by Lazo, another hard-hit ball by this Tusculum offense, as they're getting some good looks here at Frost in this early going. The 0-1 pitch to Smeltzer is hit towards center field. Charging in is Buccellato, but Huckleby will take it in shallow left center field for the third out of the inning. But Tusculum gets a run on the home run by Sappington, and we're midway through the second inning with Tusculum leading 1-0. You're watching the South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship on SAC Live.
Broken windshield, take one.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, Jack.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico. Great service without...
We head to the bottom of the second inning with Tusculum leading Lincoln Memorial 1-0 on a solo home run by Emily Sappington. It'll be Webb, Petoskey, and Cochran due up here in the second inning for the Rail Splitters, who went down in order in the bottom of the first inning against Sappington. Webb, the senior out of Knoxville, Christian Academy of Knoxville. Second team all-conference selection. She hit 400 on the nose this season, her current average. 1 home run, 37 runs batted in. She's also walked 18 times. So Webb ready to work here. One of 4 lefties in the lineup against Sappington. And after staking herself to a 1-0 lead, Sappington to work here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch, called strike. 1 strike to count to Webb. Sappington with the 0-1 pitch. Called strike at the knees, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Emma Webb. Sappington with the line, the 0-2 pitch. Off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Webb. The windup in the 1-2 pitch. Chop foul at the plate, still 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Webb, leading off the second. The windup, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Sappington. She's gotten 2 in a row, 1 down here in the second. And the designated player, Audrey Petoskey, will bat. Petoskey hitting .368, 12 home runs, 46 runs batted in for the senior out of Highland, Michigan. The first team all-conference selection. Sappington with the windup in her first pitch. High and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Sappington ready to work. The 1-0 pitch. It's high, 2 balls and no strikes. Petoskey was 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs in the win over Carson Newman. And she was 0 for 3 against UVA Wise, making her 3 for 7 in the tournament. Two and 0 the count. The pitch, right in there for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike the count to Audrey Petoskey. The windup in the 2-1 pitch. Called strike, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Petoskey. Sappington winds the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Another strikeout for Sappington, 2 down here in the second.
With 2 away, the right fielder, number 6, Grace Cochran.
Grace Cochran, the batter for the Rail Splitters, hitting .216, no home runs, 10 runs batted in. Cochran has walked 24 times this season. He is senior out of Grimesland, North Carolina. Sappington's first pitch, take it for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike, the count to Cochran. Wind up in the 0-1 pitch. Up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. One to 1 the count to Cochran. Sappington's pitch outside, 2-1. The catcher Mackenzie Henry waits on deck. Sappington with the 2-1 delivery. Outside, 3-1. 3 balls and a strike to count to Cochran. Sappington's 3-1 delivery is cut on and missed, strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Cochran with 2 outs here in the second. Three and 2 the count. Sappington, the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow left field. Smeltzer drifts in. She has room and she'll make the catch. And the side is retired. Another 1-2-3 inning for Sappington. We're through 2. In our SAC championship game, it is Tusculum 1, Lincoln Memorial nothing on SAC Live.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
top of the third inning. Tusculum leading 1-0. And Pioneers will start at the bottom of the lineup with Brittany France, second baseman. France hitting .281, no home runs, 4 runs batted in. In game 1 today against Anderson, she sacrificed all 3 plate appearances. 2 of those sacrifices led to Tusculum's 2 runs. No sacrifice chance here as she's leading off the inning and takes a strike. Emma Frost has allowed 3 hits and a run, the home run by Sappington in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch is hit to center field. Buccellato will drift to her right a little bit and make the catch for the first out.
The right fielder, 0-0, Anna Alloway.
Anna Alloway, the Tusculum leadoff hitter, will bat. She fouled out to first base her first time up. Alloway will stand in here against Frost. And the first pitch. Drilled to center field. Buccellato going back towards the fence. She looks up, and it is gone. It's a home run for Anna Alloway, her 6th home run of the season, and Tusculum builds their lead to 2-0 here in the third inning. As Alloway drives it over the center field fence, another good swing by the Pioneers against Frost, and Tusculum now leads it 2-0 on their 2nd home run of the game. As Alloway drove that one over the fence in just to the left of center field. And she connects for her 6th home run of the season. 25 runs batted in now for Alloway. And Maya Maddox will come to the plate. Maddox reached on a bunt single her first time up and was caught stealing. Maddox ready to go here. Takes that pitch high from Frost. 1 ball and no strikes. There is activity in the bullpen now for Lincoln Memorial. It's Bailey Griffith. Griffith started the game against Carson Newman earlier today. Well, only lasted 3 1/3 innings. But she is warming as Frost just does not seem to have it out there so far in this early going. Of course, we've seen that in this tournament at times where a starter has a little trouble finding themselves and then finally gets it going. But Frost now behind 3 balls and no strikes to Maddox. 3-0 the count to Maya Maddox. Alexis Gramp waits on deck. The windup and the 3-0 pitch to Maddox. High, ball 4. Maddox draws the walk. First walk issued by Frost, who walked just 25 in 134 innings coming in. And we're going to have a visit to the circle here. As Tusculum coach Julie Hubner will gather her runner and batter, Gramp, to have a discussion here. So Tusculum with the 2-0 lead, they've out-hit Lincoln Memorial 4-0 so far. The discussion is continuing as Frost has given up 4 hits and walked a batter. Their first start of the tournament on Friday, Frost allowed 4 hits and walked a batter for the 7 innings. And then she threw 3 2/3 innings of scoreless relief against Carson Newman in the semifinals. The discussion is over, and we're ready to go back to work here. Alexis Gramp, the batter for Tusculum. Gramp lined the ball off the fence in left field and was held to a single.
Now standing to the plate, the shortstop, number 33, Alexis Gramp.
Really, her hard line drive was the first of several line drives off the bats of Tusculum players in this game. 1 out here in the third inning, Tusculum leading 2-0. The first pitch from Frost. Fouled back to the screen, 1 strike. One strike, the count to Alexis Gramp. Maddox was thrown out attempting to steal her first in the first inning. That was just the second time she's been caught stealing all season. Just the third time that Tusculum's had a runner thrown out attempting to steal. Grant bunts it, foul at the plate, no balls and 2 strikes. Graham had a walk-off squeeze bunt against UVA Wise in the season finale last Sunday. Now she's in the hole here, no balls and 2 strikes. Frost with the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Golf to right field. Giving chase is Cochran, and she has it lined up and makes the catch for the out. So that's the second out of the inning. As Gramp is retired on the fly ball, and it'll bring out the catcher, Chloe Freischmidt. Freischmidt grounded out to second base her first time up. Freischmidt with 7 home runs this season, 33 runs batted in. Maddox still on at first base with 2 outs. The windup in the first pitch. Fouled away, 1 strike. Tusculum leading 2-0 here in the third inning on solo home runs by Sappington and Alloway. Tusculum as a team has hit 4 home runs in this tournament. The 0-1 pitch. Pop foul out of play, no balls and 2 strikes. Freischmidt hit one of them. It was a grand slam home run on Friday night against Catawba. A game that she knocked in 5 runs. Down in the count here, no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, and Maddox on at first base. The windup in the 0-2 pitch. Outside, almost a pitch out, but nothing on. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Freischmidt, now batting .307. The windup and the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen again. Still 1-2. 1-2 the count holds to Chloe Freischmidt. The windup in the 1-2 pitch. Hit foul. Still 1-2. The wind continues to be gusty at times. Right now, not much action there in the outfield by the flag. The 1-2 pitch. Low and in, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Freischmidt. Frost, the windup, the 2-2 pitch. Popped up, maybe playable towards the third base dugout, and is out of play as Tuggle gives it a look. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Freischmidt. Maddox, the runner at first base, has not shown an inclination to steal in this at bat. 2-2 is line foul. Screaming line drive, but way out of play. Still 2-2 the count to Freischmidt. If nothing else, knocking up Frost's pitch count a little bit more. Two and 2 the count to Chloe Freischmidt. Frost 2-2 pitch. Runner goes, hit to third, fielded by Tuggle. She'll throw across the diamond in time for the out, and the inning is over. But Tusculum gets another run on the home run by Alloway, and they leave 1. Middle of the third inning. In the Southland Conference Softball Championship, it's Tusculum 1, or not Tusculum 2, and Lincoln Memorial nothing. You're watching the SAC Softball Championship presented by SAC Live.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
We head to the bottom of the third inning with Tusculum leading Lincoln Memorial by a score of 2-0. Jim Miller with you this afternoon here on SAC Live. Thank you for joining us for the South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship game. Tusculum and Lincoln Memorial, both teams making their first ever appearance in this championship game. Tusculum trying to earn its first ever championship and first ever NCAA tournament bid. Lincoln Memorial trying to get back to the NCAA tournament. They will be in no matter what happens in this game today. Let's be perfectly honest. At 36-5, LMU clearly will be in the tournament. Tusculum got to win to get in. And so far they have a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Henry, Tuggle, and Buccellato leading off the inning for the Rail Splitters. Mackenzie Henry, the catcher, hitting .283 this season, 2 home runs, 20 runs batted in for the junior out of Louisville, Tennessee. Against Emily Sappington, who's out there one more time for the Pioneers. The windup in the first pitch of the inning is a called strike. Sappington's thrown 16 innings in this tournament, and she is not allowed to run in 14 of them. The 0-1 pitch. Back to the screen, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Mackenzie Henry. Nothing and 2 the count to Henry. Wind up in the 0-2 pitch. High, 1-2. Henry leads the team in walks this season with 28 of them. 493 on base percentage. She's also been hit by a pitch 14 times. Sappington with the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. 4th strikeout by Sappington, 1 down here in the 3rd. And it'll be the third baseman, Kelsey Tuggle. Tuggle, a junior out of Knoxville Farragut High School. Batting .228, no home runs, 8 runs batted in. Tuggle was 1 for 3 with an RBI in the first game today. And their other game, she was 1 for 3. First pitch to her is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Want to know the count to Tuggle. Sappington winds the 1-0 pitch. A little high, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count. To Tuggle. The pitch. Right there for a strike, 2-1. Two balls and one strike the count. To Kelsey Tuggle. Sappington winds her 2-1 pitch. Is lined towards right center field. Maddox on the run, and she gets there and makes the catch for the out. Maddox tracked that one down in right center field for the second out of the inning. 2 up and 2 down, and the center fielder, Bella Buccellato, will bat. Buccellato hitting .268, no home runs, 15 runs batted in. Buccellato is senior out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. And Sappington will go to work. The windup in the first pitch to Buccellato. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Buccellato has been hit 17 times this season. Also leads the team in stolen bases with 9. The windup in the 1-0 pitch. She's been hit 18 times this season. So Buccellato, the first base runner of the game for the Rail Splitters, being hit by a pitch with 2 outs. And the leadoff hitter, Tykeela Goings, will bat. Goings popped up to short her first time up. LMU, a team that you cannot sleep on them 1 through 9. And all they need is 1 break. And maybe that hit batsman may have been the spark that they need. They'll work it here from the top of the order. But for the Pioneers, they get to face her with 2 outs. The first pitch is taken for a strike. 1 strike to count to Goins. She's a 545 hitter with 2 outs this season, which is way above her season average of 377. But she's been clutch all year for them. 41 runs batted in, 7 home runs. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Tykeela Goins. Sappington ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes. She's struck out 4 so far. And the 0-2 pitch. Hit to third. Longmire throws across the diamond in time, and the inning is over. So the hit batsman does not hurt, except to Buccellato, and 1 left on base. We're through 3 innings in the SAC Championship. It's Tusculum 2, Lincoln Memorial nothing. More coverage coming up here on SAC Live.
Tasha, did you know Geico could save you hundreds on car insurance and a whole lot more? So what are you waiting for? Hip-hop group tag team to help you plan dessert?
French vanilla, rocky road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop that is, scoop shakalaka, 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 shaka, scoop shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka.
Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you...
We head to the top of the 4th inning with Tusculum leading Lincoln Memorial 2-0. Emily Sappington will lead off for the Pioneers. She led off the second inning and hit a home run to center field. Her second home run of the season. Frost with the first pitch. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. Emma Frost has thrown 44 pitches through 3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 0. Frost had struck out 151 and 137 in the third innings. But none so far in this game, as this one is popped foul. Tuggle gives it a look, but it'll be out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Sappington. She'll be followed by Longmire and Lazo here in the fourth. 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike the count to Emily Sappington. 2-1 pitch. Fouled away, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes the count to Sappington. Frost with the windup in the 2-2 pitch. High, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count to Sappington leading off the fourth inning. Payoff pitch coming from Frost. Chopped in the hole. Huckleby has it. Long throw across is picked at first base by Webb for the first out. Tusculum has some players with some outstanding speed. Sappington not necessarily one of them, but that she's not out there to run. She's out there to pitch. And she's retired on the first out of the fourth inning. Longmire will bat. She is lined out to left in her only plate appearance. High for a ball, 1-0. One ball and no strikes the count to Kylie Longmire. Frost pitch in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 0 the count to Longmire. The 2-0 pitch. Called strike, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike the count to Longmire. Frost pitch. High, 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike the count to Longmire. Frost pitch. Popped up, foul, out of play, 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes the count to Kylie Longmire. The windup, the payoff pitch. Pop towards right field. Cochran has it lined up, and she'll make the catch for the second out. 2 up and 2 down here in the fourth. And it'll be Lazo, the first baseman, batting for Tusculum. Lazo grounded out her first time up, but a ball that was deflected by Frost. Goins picked it up and shoveled to first for the out. Lazo now hitting .267 for the season. And the first pitch coming from Frost is a called strike. And Lazo nods her head as if to say, I saw that, and if I see it again, I'm going to do something with it. The windup in the 0-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Lazo. Frost. The windup in the 1-1 pitch. That one is hit to third. Staying with it is the third baseman Tuggle. Her throw across is in time for the out. It's a 1-2-3 inning, the first of the game for Emma Frost. We're halfway home in the SAC championship game. It's Tusculum 2, Lincoln Memorial nothing. More of the championship coming up, presented by SAC Live. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning with Tusculum leading Lincoln Memorial 2-0. Emily Sappington has retired 9 of the 10 batters she's faced. The lone blemish, a hit batsman to Bella Buccellato in the third inning, but she got around that without any issues. She'll face 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Rail Splitters, Henry, Huckleby, and Webb here in the fourth. Henry flying out to center field her first time up. Line up the first pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count to Henry. Line by Sappington, the next pitch is a called strike. 1-1 the count to Henry. The windup in the 1-1 pitch. Hit up the middle, past France into right center field for a base hit. That'll be the first hit of the game for LMU as France tried to knock it down, but she could not, and it's a base hit. And Henry's the leadoff base runner here in the fourth. Sierra Huckleby, the shortstop, will bat. Huckleby struck out to end the first inning. So Sappington will contend with Huckleby with Henry on at first base. And the first pitch is called strike. Henry, the runner at first, has not attempted a stolen base this season. LMU, like many teams anymore, not relying on the stolen base, just 19 steals in 41 games as a team. The 0-1 pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. One 1 the count to Huckleby. First team all-conference selection. Sappington with the windup in the 1-1 pitch. High, 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 the count. The pitch is popped up. It's foul. It's out of play. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Huckleby. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Sierra Huckleby. Wind up the 2-2 pitch. Hit down the right field line. Alloway giving chase. Does she have room? She does, and she makes the catch. Tagging at first and going up to second base is Henry. So Huckleby fouls out, but Henry takes second base. They're going to appeal at first base, and they'll say she left on time. So 1 out here in the 4th inning for the first baseman, Emma Webb. Webb struck out her first time up.
The first baseman, number 10, Emma Webb.
Webb stands in against Sappington. The windup in the first pitch. Golf to first. Lazo has it. She's going to have to race to the bag, and she does, and she applies the tag for the out. Lazo is going to have to take it herself, and she beat Webb to the bag in a race of first baseman. And it is the second out of the inning. Henry takes third. And Petoski will bat with a runner at third base and 2 outs. Petoski was called out on strikes her first time up. Petoski, the leader in home runs with 12, runs batted in with 46 on this rail splitter squad. The big moment in this game for Sappington. She tries to go after Petoski. We'll see if she's careful with her with Cochran, whose credentials are, quite frankly, not as strong on deck. But you'd be hard-pressed to find 5 players in the league with batting credentials like Petoski's, but she's going to be out on 1 pitch. And Sappington fires to Velasco at first base, and the inning is over. The leadoff single goes for nothing. And we're through 4 innings here in the SAC championship game. It's Tusculum 2, Lincoln Memorial nothing. More coverage coming up on SAC Live. We head to the top of the 5th inning with Tusculum holding on to a 2-0 lead over Lincoln Memorial as Emily Sappington worked around a leadoff single, got Petoski on a comebacker to end the inning. She has allowed just 1 hit through 4 innings. Claire Smeltzer will lead off the top of the 5th inning for Tusculum, facing Emma Frost, who's retired 5 in a row. Smeltzer popped up to short her first time up. First pitch to her is lined into right field. It's a base hit. It's heading towards the corner. It's going to be extra bases. Smeltzer on her way to second. Smeltzer will stop at second base with a leadoff double. Her 9th 2-base hit of the season, and she is a leadoff base runner here in the 5th. And we're going to see a pinch runner to second base, most likely to be Kristen Gass, as this is the move that Coach Julie Hubner made in the first game, and it paid off as Gass scored a run. The exact same spot in the game. It was the top of the 5th inning. Smeltzer led off with the double. Gass came in to run. France laid down the sacrifice, and then Alloway hit a sacrifice fly. We'll see if it can repeat itself here. So Kristen Gass, the runner at second base, out of Etowah, North Carolina, the senior. Brittany France, who sacrificed 3 times in the first game. She flied out to center in her first at bat today in this game. And she will take a ball. Charging at third base is Tuggle, and Huckleby is covering the bag. 1 ball and no strikes to count to France. She throws bunt. It's off the glove of the catcher, and it's going to move the gas up to third base. It'll be a wild pitch thrown by Frost, and that takes away the sacrifice, as now there's a runner at third with nobody out. 2-0 the count to France. Coach Hubner likes to squeeze, but you got the top of the order coming up, and I think he'll just let France do what she can here to put it in play and drive the run in. 2-0 the count to France. Frost pitch. Low and in, 3 balls and no strikes. Griffith is throwing again in the LMU bullpen. 3-0 the count to Brittany France. Frost wind up the 3-0 pitch. Up and away, ball 4, and Brittany France has walked for the second time this season and the second time in this tournament. And Tusculum now has runners at first and third with nobody out for Anna Alloway. Alloway has fouled out and hit a solo home run, her 6th home run of the season, as the Pioneers are back around to the top of the order. We'll see what transpires here. France has not attempted a stolen base this season. Really, for Tusculum, Maddox is the only stolen base threat on the team, although Gramp has stolen 6 bases. Alloway, who puts the ball in play very well. First pitch from Frost. Taken for a ball, 1-0. Nothing on. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Anna Alloway. Now time is called, as the catcher Henry is going to go out and discuss things with Frost. And this will be an offensive conference as Coach Hubner informs home plate umpire Melvin Clark that she called timeout. So this will be an offensive conference charge to Tusculum. So runners at first and third, nobody out here in the 5th inning. Tusculum leading by a score of 2-0. Following the conclusion of this game, we'll have our awards presentations. We'll have that streaming for you. And the discussion is over. So Alloway batting with a 1-0 count. The windup of the 1-0 pitch. France goes, throw back to third, and in safely at second with the stolen base is France. It's 2 balls and no strikes to count to Alloway. France's first stolen base of the season. And now Tusculum has 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Alloway hitting .387 for the season, .357 with runners in scoring position. Infield playing back, despite the 2-0 deficit. Frost 2-0 pitch. Taken for a strike on the outside corner, 2 balls and a strike. Maddox on deck, Gramp to follow. Two and 1 the count to Alloway. The windup in the 2-1 pitch. Hit to left field, hit pretty well, back at the fence, it is gone! It's a 3-run home run for Anna Alloway, her 2nd home run of the game, and Tusculum leads at 5-0 here in the 5th. Alloway golfed that one to left field, a 3-run shot, and Tusculum now leads at 5-0. Playing in her final game at home, and she's made it memorable. She's hit 2 home runs, knocked in 4, and Tusculum leads at 5-0. Alloway's knocked in 6 runs today, 7 runs in the tournament. And Tusculum now leads at 5-0, and that is going to be the end of the day for Emma Frost, as coach of the Lincoln Memorial coaching staff will be making a pitching change here. Tusculum hit some balls hard earlier in the game, And Alloway just absolutely slammed that one to left field. A 3-run home run, and Tusculum now leads it 5-0. And this will be a pitching change. It'll be Bailey Griffith coming in for Lincoln Memorial. We'll have the numbers on Griffith when we return. 5-0 Tusculum. You're watching the SAC Softball Championship on SAC Live. The new pitcher for Lincoln Memorial is Bailey Griffith, 5'7" junior out of White Bluff, Tennessee, Creekwood High School. Griffith making her 20th appearance of the season. She started 17 games. She has an 11-3 record with a 3.84 earned run average. 85 2/3 innings, 108 hits, 47 earned runs, 22 walks, 46 strikeouts. And opponents are hitting .310 against Bailey Griffith. Griffith started the game against Carson Newman, and her first pitch is in the back of Maya Maddox, who's hit by a pitch. And she is a base runner. Still nobody out in the inning, as Tusculum has gone double, walk, home run, hit batsman. Griffith threw 3 1/3 innings earlier today, allowed 3 hits and 2 runs, struck out 1, did not walk a batter. Alexis Gramp, the batter, she has singled and flied out. 5-0 Tusculum. They've out-hit Lincoln Memorial 6-1. First pitch to Gramp. Outside corner for a strike. 1 strike to count to Alexis Gramp, who has singled and flied out. No balls and 1 strike to count to Gramp. Maddox, the runner at first base, 17 stolen bases, but she was thrown out in the first inning by the catcher, Henry. The pitch, outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Alexis Gramp. Gramp with 10 home runs this season. 36 runs batted in. The 1-1 pitch. Runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw is late. Stolen base for Maya Maddox. Her 18th stolen base of the season. And she's in scoring position now. 2 ball, 1 strike count to Alexis Gramp. Two and 1 the count to Gramp. Pitch outside, 3-1. Three and 1 the count to Gramp. On deck is Freischmidt, the catcher. Griffith's 3-1 pitch. Fouled away, 3-2. She had a cut. Fouled it back. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Alexis Gramp. Gramp digs in with a 3-2 count. Griffith winds the pitch. Line to right field. Cochran turning, looking. It is gone! It's a 2-run home run for Alexis Gramp, and Tusculum now leads it 7-0. Gramp's second home run of the tournament, and the Pioneers are pouring it on here in the 5th inning. They lead it 7-0. Still nobody out in the inning. Chloe Freischmidt will bat. She's grounded out twice. A double by Smeltzer, a walk to France, a 3-run homer by Alloway, a hit batsman, and a 2-run home run by Gramp, and Tusculum leads it 7-0. The first pitch to Freischmidt's high for a ball, 1-0. $7-0 Tusculum here in the fifth. You got to think the Pioneers are going to play for one more run this inning. Swing and a miss, strike one. One thing we have not had in this tournament is a run rule game. I'm not jinxing anything, it's just facts. Tusculum won a game by 9 runs, but that was because they had a big top of the 7th. The pitch to Freischmidt is popped up, center field. Buccellato will drift in. She has it lined up and makes the catch for the out. So the first out of the inning is recorded. And Emily Sappington, the pitcher, who is quite grateful for these runs, will come to the plate. Sappington homered and grounded out. Tusculum has hit 4 home runs in this ballgame. Sappington, Alloway has 2, and Gramp. The windup in the first pitch. Called strike. One strike to count to Emily Sappington. The 0-1 pitch. Called strike, 0-2. The book is closed on Frost. I'll give you her numbers here in a moment. The 0-2 pitch to Sappington is outside 1-2. Frost went 4 innings, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs. Walked 2, did not strike out a batter, gave up 3 home runs. 68 pitches, 45 strikes, 23 balls. 1-2 the count to Emily Sappington. Pitch in the dirt, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Emily Sappington. Kylie Longmire, the third baseman, waits on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Chopped to second. Goins charges. She'll flip to first in time for the out. The 2 down here in the fifth. And the third baseman, Kylie Longmire, will come to the plate. Longmire has lined to left and fly to right.
With 2 outs, third baseman.
Now batting
Kylie Longmire.
average with the 0 for 2 performance drops to 229 for the season. First pitch from Griffith is low for a ball, 1-0. One ball and no strikes to count to Kylie Longmire. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Kylie Longmire. The windup, the 1-1 pitch. Line towards right. That'll be a base hit for Longmire. Longmire is a 2-out base runner as she has the 4th hit of the inning for the Pioneers. That'll bring up Haley Lazo. And we're going to get a runner at first base for Longmire, as said Coach Hubner knows the score is 7-0 and wants to try and get that 8th run in. It'll be Angela Masiello to run for Longmire. Masiello, the freshman out of Mantua, Ohio. Making her 19th appearance of the season, she scored 7 runs. Lazo has grounded out twice. She does have 5 home runs this season. First pitch from Griffith is high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. 7-0 Tusculum. They scored 5 here in this 5th inning. Blow this game open. But LMU is not 36-5 for nothing. The 1-0 pitch. In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Smeltzer, who got the inning started with a double, is on deck as Tusculum is batted around here in this 5th inning. Another big inning for the Pioneers. They had a 5-run and a 7-run inning in the game over against Catawba. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. She went fishing there. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 the count to Lazo. Griffith with the 2-1 pitch. Fouled at the plate, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count to Lazo. The pitch popped up behind first. It'll be Goins making the catch for the out. But a big inning for Tusculum. 5 runs in the inning, 4 hits, including 3-run home run from Alloway, a 2-run home run from Gramp, and 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning of the South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship. It's Tusculum 7, Lincoln Memorial nothing. More coverage coming up here on SAC Live.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Emily Sappington staked to a 7-0 lead as she takes the circle in the bottom of the 5th inning. Thanks to the home runs in the top of the 5th by Alloway and Gramp. She's allowed just 1 hit through 4 innings. It was a single by Henry, Madison Henry. And she'll contend with Cochran, Mackenzie Henry, and Tuggle here in the bottom of the 5th. Cochran flying out to left her first time up. And for Sappington now, the focus is just to get out. Wallmeyer's back in at third base for the Pioneers. And Smeltzer's back in the game in left field. Sappington's thrown 52 pitches through 4 innings. She struck out 4, walked 0. And the first pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count to Cochran, who flying out to left her first time up. She's now batting .214. Wind up the 1-0 pitch. Called strike, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, the count to Cochran. Sappington's 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. Two balls and a strike, the count to Cochran. The windup and the 2-1 pitch. High, 3-1. Sappington working with a 7-run lead here. And she's going to get herself composed a little bit. She hasn't walked anybody in the game, but the last thing you want to do is walk somebody with a 7-run lead. And LMU will take a base runner any way they can get it. The 3-1 pitch. Called strike, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Cochran, leading off the 5th inning. Sappington ready with the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 up and outside. First walk of the game issued by Sappington. First walk of the day for Sappington. Just her second walk of the tournament. Mackenzie Henry, the catcher, will bat. Henry was called out on strikes her first time up. Henry batting .280. Infield just trying to get outs here. The pitch, called strike. 1 strike to count to Henry. Nothing in 1 the count to Henry. 0-1 pitch. Fouled away, nothing in 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Mackenzie Henry. Sappington's 0-2 pitch. Popped up, shallow right field. Alloway has it lined up, and she'll make the catch for the first out. 1 down here in the 5th. That'll be the third baseman, Kelsey Tuggle, stepping in. Tuggle has lined out to center on a nice running catch by Maya Maddox back in the 3rd inning. Sappington will go to work here against Tuggle. First pitch to her on the outside corner, strike 1. One strike to count to Kelsey Tuggle. Sappington with the 0-1 pitch. Low in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike to count. Sappington's 1-1 pitch. Called strike, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count. To Tuggle. 1-2 pitch. Hit foul right side. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Tuggle. With Cochran the runner at first base, 1 out here in the 5th. Sappington ready to go. She has the 1-2 pitch. Hit to short, could be 2. To France for 1, on to first. It is a double play. 6-4 to 3. Gramp to France to Lazo, and the inning is over. A turn for the Pioneers. 6-4-3, and the inning is over. We are through 5 innings. And Tusculum leads it 7-0 over Lincoln Memorial. You're watching the SAC Softball Championship on SAC Live. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Tusculum leading 7-0. It'll be Smelter, France, and Alloway here in the 6th inning against Bailey Griffith. It was a combination that got Tusculum's 5-run 5th inning underway. Smelter led off that inning with a double. So Tusculum out hitting Lincoln Memorial 8-1. They lead it 7-0 as they are 2 innings away from making history here this afternoon. So Smeltzer ready to step in for the Pioneers. The home plate umpire Melvin Clark is heading over to the Tusculum dugout. We go to the top of the 6th inning. And Smeltzer ready to go. Called strike. I believe the delay was over balls, as in the umpire needing softballs. The 0-1 pitch. Called strike. 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes the count to Smeltzer leading off the top of the 6th inning. The 0-2 pitch. Beaten foul at the plate, still 0-2. Griffith ready with the 0-2 pitch. Low, 1-2. One and two the count to Smeltzer. The pitch, high and away, 2-2. Two and two the count to Smeltzer. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on the changeup. Smeltzer's retired for the first out of the 6th inning. And Brittany France will bat. France has flied out and walked. She stole a base and scored a run during that 5th inning. So France digs in here against Griffith. The pitch, low, 1 ball and no strikes. There is action in the LMU bullpen. Haley Tamaro, a junior, is warming up. She's pitched in 9 games this season. The 1-0 pitch, low, 2 balls and no strikes. No activity in the Tusculum bullpen. There's no need to be at this point. 2-0 the count to France. 2-0 pitch. Hit to center field. Hit pretty well, but Buccellato has it lined up, and she'll make the catch for the 2nd out. And now it's Anna Alloway. Alloway popped up her first time up. Then she hit a solo home run in the 3rd inning to make it 2-0. Then she hit a 3-run home run in the 5th inning to make it 5-0. Alloway, 2 homers, 4 runs batted in today. She's hit 7 home runs this season. Alloway facing Griffith with 2 outs and nobody on base. The first pitch, high, 1 ball and no strikes. Tusculum does have a 3 home run game this season. It came from Haley Lazo. It's part of the 9 home run outburst at Queens back on April the 11th. 1-0 the count to Alloway, the pitch. Low, 2 balls and no strikes. Alloway had 2 home runs in that 9 home run outing at Queens. So it's her 2nd multi-home run game of the season. 2-0 the count to Alloway. 2-0 pitch. Called strike, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike the count to Anna Alloway, now batting .392. With 28 runs batted in, along with those 7 home runs. Griffith to wind up the 2-1 pitch. Hit up the middle. It's a base hit to center field. So Alloway now 3 for 4 in the game. And she's having herself a day to remember, as she is 4 for 7 in this doubleheader in these 2 games with 6 RBIs. 6 for 12 in the tournament. Maya Maddox will bat for the Pioneers. Maddox has reached base all 3 times. She's singled, walked, and been hit by a pitch, and she has stolen a base and scored a run. First pitch from Griffith, taken for a strike. One strike to count to Maya Maddox. The pitch called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Maya Maddox. Griffith's 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Maya Maddox. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss as she chased one up in the zone. Second strikeout of the inning for Griffith. And the Pioneers done in the 6th. They get a hit and leave 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is Tusculum 7, Lincoln Memorial nothing. More of the South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship coming up here on SAC Live.
Broken windshield, take 1.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. Geico makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, check, check.
Nope, your Geico claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
Geico. Great service.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tusculum leading by a score of 7-0. As Emily Sappington has thrown 66 pitches in 5 innings, allowed a hit and a walk, struck out 4, also hit a batter. Working with a 7-0 lead, it'll be Buccellato, Goins, and Henry here in the 6th inning. Tusculum mantra in the last 2 innings is get out. First pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. Buccellato was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning in her only plate appearance. One ball and no strikes to count to Bella Buccellato. Called strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. One ball and 1 strike to count to Buccellato. 1-1 pitch. Pop foul out of play, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Buccellato. Sappington ready to go with the 1-2 pitch. Line is short over the head of Gramp in the left center field, a base hit. Smeltzer cuts it off. Making the turn and going to second is Buccellato. That'll be a single and an error as Smeltzer had trouble fielding the ball in the outfield. Well, LMU looking for a spark, and they may get one here. Down by 7 runs, and Tequila Goings will bat. Goings has popped up and grounded out. First error of the game for Tusculum, first error for either team. Sappington's pitch is flied to center field. Maddox going back. She has it lined up, and she makes the catch for the out as she hits the fence. Tagging at second and going on to third with the slide is Buccellato, but it's an out. And that's 1 down here in the 6th. Again, Tusculum will trade anything for outs. They get their first out here in the 6th inning. And Coach Julie Hubner is coming out to remind her infield of exactly what they need to be doing here. With a 7-run lead and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Maddox made the nice catch at the fence. Henry will be the batter. She's flied to center and singled. So the conversation continuing here as the entire infield and outfield are in. Tusculum leading 7-0. They've out-hit Lincoln Memorial 9-2. There is activity in the Tusculum bullpen. Savannah Foster is throwing in case any help would be needed. For the record, LMU was shut out once this season. It was by Wingate in their regular season finale, 9-0. In their losses, they scored 3, 4, 4, and 0 runs. So up at the plate is Madison Henry. Sappington at 71 pitches. And the first pitch is taken for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Henry. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Called strike, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike the count to Madison Henry. One to 1 the count, the pitch. Hit towards first, foul, 1-2. One and 2 the count to Henry. Huckleby waits on deck. Sappington winds the 1-2 pitch. Changeup fouled at the plate, still 1-2. One and 2 the count holds to Henry. Sappington ready to work the 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Henry. Henry digs into the left-hand batter's box. Shows the bat as Sappington comes with the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th strikeout of the game for Sappington, 2 outs here in the 6th. And Sierra Huckleby will try and get the run home. Huckleby has struck out and fouled out to right. Now batting .371 this season. The windup in the first pitch. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Nice block there by Freischmann. One ball and no strikes to count to Huckleby. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. Popped up, shallow right. Alloway says she's got it. And Alloway makes the catch, and Emily Sappington is through 6 innings. We go to the 7th and possibly final inning of the tournament. Tusculum leading Lincoln Memorial 7-0. More coverage coming up here on SAC Live.
Being a champion
We're starting the top of the 7th inning, and Tusculum leading by a score of 7-0. Alexis Gramp will lead off for the Pioneers. Gramp has singled, fly to right, and hit a 2-run home run. First pitch is hit in the hole, stopped by Huckleby. Her long throw across is in time for the out. Great play at shortstop by Sierra Huckleby, as she gets Gramp for the first out of the 7th inning.
The catcher, number 14, Chloe Freischmann.
Chloe Freischmann will bat for the Pioneers. Freischmann's 0 for 3. She's grounded out twice and fly to center. Tusculum with a run in the 2nd, a run in the 3rd, and 5 in the 5th. This one's beaten foul. No balls and 1 strike. One strike to count to Chloe Freischmann. Griffith, who came on in the 5th inning, delivers. And it's lined to right field. Going back on its Cochran, it's over her head, and it is gone! It's a home run for Chloe Freischmann, and Tusculum tacks on 1 more. Their 5th home run of the game, and they now lead it 8-0. Freischmann's 2nd home run of the tournament, or 8th of the season. And that might be the icing on the cake right there for the Pioneers, as they now lead it 8-0. Emily Sappington will come to the plate. Sappington has homered, grounded out twice. A lot of heroes in this tournament for Tusculum. Freischmann, Alloway, but the one who stands alone is coming to the plate, and Emily Sappington. Tusculum isn't even close to this spot without her performance. But she's going to face a new pitcher, as coming on will be Haley Temero. Temero will take over for Griffith with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Tamaro, a junior from Toms River, New Jersey, by way of Canisius College. Tamaro, 4-0 record, a 3.21 earned runs average. For making her 10th appearance, she's made 3 starts, 28 in the 3rd innings, 31 hits, 13 earned runs, 12 walks, 22 strikeouts, opponents hitting .282 against Haley Tamaro. So the Pioneers out hitting Lincoln Memorial 10-2. And they are on the cusp of making program history. Their first South Atlantic Conference tournament championship, their first ever NCAA tournament appearance. And they're 3 outs away from doing so. Tusculum making their first appearance in the tournament since 2017. And they are making the most of it here on their home field. Pioneers have hit 7 home runs in these 3 games. Sappington steps in to work against Tamaro. Sappington now hitting .327. First pitch from Tamaro is taken for a called strike. One strike the count to Emily Sappington. The 0-1 pitch. Lined to short past Huckleby into center field, a base hit. So Sappington picks up her 2nd hit of the game. And stepping to the plate will be Kylie Longmire. And I think we'll get a runner for Sappington, which would probably be the right call here. And the runner at first base for Tusculum will be Ashley Harbison. Harbison making her 6th appearance of the season. And she'll get to run here in the 7th inning as Longmire bats. Longmire has lined out, flied out, and singled. Pitch is high, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count to Longmire. The 1-0 pitch. High, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count to Longmire. The windup in the 2-0 pitch. High, 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count to Longmire. Haley Lazo waits on deck. The 3-0 pitch. Called strike, 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike to count to Longmire. 3-1 pitch, high, ball 4. Harbison will move up to 2nd. Longmire on at first, and Haley Lazo will bat. Lazo has grounded out twice and popped up. Tusculum leading 8-0. They've out-hit LMU 10-2. First pitch is a strike. 11-2. Check that. This one's line foul. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Haley Lazo. The 0-2 pitch. Popped up, foul. It'll be out of play. Nothing in 2 the count to Haley Lazo. Batting .261. The 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, did she hold her swing? No appeal. And it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Haley Lazo. For me, the big moment in this game was in the 4th inning when Lincoln Memorial got a leadoff single by Henry. They got her around to third base, but Sappington got Petoskey on a comebacker on the first pitch with 2 outs to end the inning, and that was immediately followed by a 5-run inning by the Pioneers as Lazo goes down on strikes for the second out. First strikeout by Tamaro. 2 down for the left fielder, Claire Smeltzer. Smeltzer has popped up, doubled, and struck out. Batting .311. First pitch. High and away, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count to Smeltzer. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike, 1-1. One ball and 1 strike the count to Smeltzer. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Smeltzer. Tamaro's 1-2 pitch. Low and away, 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Smeltzer. The windup and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts by Tamaro. And she strands 2, but the Pioneers get insurance in the top of the 7th on the home run by Freischmidt. They get 2 hits and 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 3 more outs for Tusculum. They lead it 8-0 over Lincoln Memorial in the SAC Softball Championship on SAC Live. Emily Sappington going through her warm-ups as she tries to put an exclamation point on what has been nothing short of an MVP performance this weekend by the Pioneers sophomore. Looking for her 3rd victory in 3 starts and send Tusculum to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history. Win their first ever South Atlantic Conference tournament championship. They need 3 more outs, leading 8-0. Webb, Petoskey, and Cochran due up for LMU. Sappington's allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, hit a batter, 5 strikeouts. She's thrown 79 pitches on top of throwing 106 pitches in a victory over Anderson in the semifinals. She will have beaten the 3, 2, and 1 seeds. Tusculum is 3 outs away from doing so. It's Emma Webb leading off. Webb has struck out and grounded out. Sappington with her first pitch. Up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count to Webb. Sappington delivers. 2 balls and no strikes. No doubt she's a little bit amped up out there. She Might have overthrown those first two pitches just a little slightly. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Webb. Wind up the 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike to count to Webb, hitting .394. Two and one the count. The pitch. Back up the middle. Gloved by Grant, but she'll have no play. It'll be a base hit for Webb. As it might have deflected off Sappington slightly. The third hit of the game for LMU. And for the 4th inning in a row, LMU has their leadoff runner on base. And it'll be Audrey Petoski at the plate. Petoski has struck out and grounded out.
The designated player, number 11, Audrey Petoski.
Sappington ready to work to Petoski. The first pitch. Called strike. 1 strike to count to Petoski. Sappington studies, and the 0-1 pitch. Popped foul, out of play, no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2, the count. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Petoski. The windup in the 0-2 pitch. High, 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to count to Petoski. Sappington with the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Popped up, playable possibly. Lazo giving it a look. And she makes the catch for the out. That's 1 out here in the 7th inning. Tusculum looking for its 4th South Atlantic Conference championship in the last 2 months. Women's basketball, football, men's tennis, and now softball on the cusp of doing so as well. 1 out for Cochran, the right fielder. She has flied out and walked. First pitch to her is called strike. Tusculum softball team trying to become the first Tusculum team to win a SAC championship as a number 6 seed since 1999. That year, the men's soccer team beat the top 3 seeds, and that was the first SAC title in school history that year for men's soccer in 1999. Softball trying to duplicate that feat. 0-1 the count to Cochran. The pitch. Bunts to third. Longmire throws on to first, and that's 2 outs. 2 down here in the 7th, and it'll be the last chance for LMU. It'll be the catcher, Mackenzie Henry.
The catcher, number 25, Mackenzie Henry.
Henry has struck out and flied out. Eight to nothing Tusculum here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Pioneers on the verge of making history. The first pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 1 strike to count to Henry. Sappington working on a 3-hitter. Sappington with the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Henry. Emily Sappington, the sophomore left-hander. Winds in the 1-1 pitch. Fouled away. Lazo gives it a look, but it'll be out of play, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sappington has struck out 5 and walked 1. Pioneers now a strike away from taking home the championship. Henry in the hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sappington with the wind. The 1-2 pitch. High, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Mackenzie Henry. Kelsey Tuggle, the third baseman, waits on deck. 2-2 the count to Henry. Sappington winds, a 2-2 pitch. Popped up, foul, out of play. Still 2-2. 2-2 the count holds to Henry. Emily Sappington looking for her 3rd win of this tournament. 2-2 the count to Henry. The wind, the pitch, high, 3-2. And it's a full count. Pitching with an 8-run lead is a lot easier than pitching with a 1 or 2-run lead, that's for sure. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count to Henry. Sappington with the windup, the 3-2 pitch. Fly ball, shallow left field, Smeltzer charging, she dives, she makes the catch, and Tusculum University has won the South Atlantic Conference Softball Championship. Smeltzer made the catch in left field, and the Tusculum Pioneers are going to the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. The Pioneers celebrated shallow left field as they have defeated top-seeded Lincoln Memorial 8-0, and they have won the South Atlantic Conference for the first time in program history. What a moment for this program. Coach Julie Hubner embracing her team. They have done what few probably expected coming into this tournament. They win 3 in a row, knock off the top 3 seeds, and win the South Atlantic Conference Championship. We'll have the awards ceremony coming up in just a few moments as the Pioneers continue to celebrate, and celebrate they should, as they have won their first South Atlantic Conference Tournament Championship. 8-0 over the top seed Lincoln Memorial, as good an opponent as you are going to get. And the Pioneers just were not going to be denied today. And we'll have the awards coming up here in a moment, as the championship t-shirts are being handed out.